alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Papa D's Cooking Show, and today I'm going to present something for you which you usually would enjoy only at a restaurant, but now I'm going to show you how you can do it at home. I'm going to do a T-bone steak for you in my pressure cooker. So I'm not putting it in the oven, I'm not grilling it. I want to cook it in the pressure cooker simply for the one reason that if you look at it, I'm using a T-bone steak here. You'll notice it's got the fat on the ends, it's got a lot of fat in the middle, and most importantly, it's got a bone. Now, from the bone and the fat, it's going to extract the marrow, and the juices will then come through, and I want those juices to form a part of my sauce. So I'm using today a nice cut of T-bone. It's with the fillet on, and of course the nice part of it, that the sirloin part of the steak has got the fat on, and I've got fat in the meat as well. I'm not removing anything. I've just given this one light rinse. Don't wash it till it turns white. You're going to lose all the nutrition. And because I don't want my meat to curl up, I'm just going to give it a cut on the bone here and separate the fat so that, there we are, so that it will stay in form. Now remember, if you're cooking more than one portion, don't stress too much because this will cook through anyway. I'm going to switch my machine on now and just turn it on to any setting because I need to just sear the fat a little bit. And after I sear the fat, then I'm going to start by putting in all my spices. So firstly, I just need to sear the fat a little bit and get the pot going, and then we can add the rest in. But when you're using your pressure cooker, always remember to check your valves, that your pressure valve is closed so that it can build up the pressure inside. I'm going to add a little bit of oil. Now you must remember there will be more oil coming out of this dish because there'll be the fat and the sauces. I'm taking it with all its juices there. So you can hear the sizzle there. I've just seared the fat a little bit, and now I'm going to put it face down, and I want it to start extracting some of the juices. To speed it up a little, I'm putting my lid on. I'm not sealing it, but in the meantime, I'm going to run you through all the spices. Now there are some intense spices here, but this is purely because I want to create a barbecue sauce but with spice. So it's really a spicy barbecue sauce. Starting from the front here is my salt, my clove and ilachi, but I'm just going to put this in now with the meat because when it starts extracting the juices, I'd like to have this already in there. It'll enhance the flavor. So my meat is searing just with these three spices in. Now I'll run you through the rest of the spices. I've got salt, I've got my dana, and then my red chilies, coarse red chilies. I've got some garlic, my zira powder. I've got a little bit of haldi, my ginger garlic paste, Worcester sauce, aromat, fine red salt, fine red chilies, and some tomato sauce. I'll be using the chips later. Let's see how this is coming. There we have it. Juice is already coming out. I'm going to turn it around and sear the next side of it. And I can now start putting my spices and sauces in. I'll start off with the tomato sauce. If you're cooking more than one piece, at this point you can actually remove your meat. I'm going to do that now just to show you what to do with the gravy. As you can see, it's sealed nicely. I'm going to put in my sauces now. A little bit of the Worcester sauce. Now again, everyone's boasting about waterless cooking. So here I'm going to show you that's exactly what we're doing. I'm not adding water in. I want it to cook within its own spices, within its own juices. In goes my salt, just very little because I will be using aromat as well. I'm going to use my red coarse chilies, very little of. I'm just making one portion. A little bit of ginger garlic there. Red fine chilies. Some aromat. Give it a bit of stir again. Now I can continue with the rest of my spices here. A little bit of haldi, dhana and jiru, and that's it. This is actually a spice I'm going to use for my chips. It's a bit of a chip sprinkle. Now I'm adding in my garlic. Just a little, so I need that garlic flavor over and above the ginger garlic taste there. My sauce is almost done. Now I like my meat between medium, so I'm not going to overcook this one. I'm just cooking it for about 15 minutes. See, the juices have already come out of there. I need them back in the pot. And there we have it. I'm going to close the lid. And because I want it medium, I'm only going to cook it for 15 minutes. Bismillah. I'm putting this on. There's a 12-minute mark there. Just past the 12-minute mark. And there we have it. And while this is cooking, I'm going to get my chips and veggies ready for the serving of the meal. There we are. My cooker's timer is off now. Just want to depressurize. You'll notice there's not too much pressure because there's very little meat in there. Again, I've cooked this for only 15 minutes because I like mine medium done. For something well done, you'd probably cook for about 30 minutes. But then I wouldn't advise you to cook just one piece without water because you may end up with the sauce thickening up and burning at the bottom. Once I remove the steak from here and place it on the plate, I'll show you the consistency of the sauce. And again, we've used no water in here. And now I'll call Chef Proud in the meantime. My chips are also ready, so I can get them all out simultaneously. If Chef Proud can come along and just help us present this meal. Now, I just want to show you the consistency of the sauce. It's amazing. This sauce will be like none that you can buy because again, it's cooked with the stock from the meat. And I'm going to dollop this on. See how much that sauce has become. And if you cook it for longer, obviously more juices will come out of the steak. This is what you'd really call traditional old-style cooking, where people, in fact, business people found that loophole to say, you know what, here's an item we can sell. Let's sell stock. So really, this is what they're selling you. But believe me, the artificial stock's going to come nowhere near yours. And as you can see, the consistency is beautiful. The flavor is amazing. All your spices are still visible, but they fully cook through. Right, there we have a steak that you won't even get at the best steakhouse. Make it at home for your family, and you'll definitely enjoy it. Just adding some sprinkle to my chips. I've got some grilled vegetables with it. And that'll be all from us today from Papa D's at the train. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.